Today on Nebraska Woodster, we're doing a tour of the main wood yard. Stick with me. Here we go. Hey Woodsters, my name's Mike. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. If you're new, welcome. Today, we're going to take a tour of the wood yard. We're going to try and just walk through this thing here and kind of show you what we all got going on. This thing is still in its infancy. As you can see behind me here, this here used to be one great big hill all the way up to there, and sold some dirt out of here to make it flat. So living up on the hill, the only way to get flat stuff is move dirt. So we moved 150, 200, 250 loads of dirt out of here. And so we've made a nice little flat spot. So as you've heard in some other videos, I talk about a main wood yard, and this is it. So here we go. We'll start where I started. As we were selling dirt out of this property, I was finding spots to put wood. I didn't want it all up by the house. Mama wasn't real impressed with the mess I was making up there. So this gives you a little bit of an idea. That there is about 22 to 25 foot of dirt that we've pulled down and made it pretty flat in here. So as we were selling all of this dirt out of here, I started stacking wood in rows, and people always talk about make sure it's on even ground, level ground. This is why. It starts in a nice stacked row, and then it turns into a pile. Handy. These here are all the rows that I've got stacked. Most of this is dry, so I could sell this through the rest of the winter here. Couple of loads of dry wood that just needed to stay away from the house, so that's sitting there. A little bit, these two rows here are nothing but ash. And then I've got some mixed stacks in there, mulberry, hackberry, a little bit of locust, and some walnut. So anyway, that's where we started. We kind of, as we were selling dirt, wanted to keep it away from the trucks. Got a nice little pile here that needs to be stacked. This I like to call Mount Woodmore. So last year, as I was starting to get a fair amount of cutting done before I started selling wood, because I like being outside and cutting and also splitting, my pile started growing. I was just building for my boiler. Well, I ended up with about 3 years worth of boiler wood sitting here, and I won't touch any of it this year. And my wife was kind of excited. She's like, well, you've got enough wood cut that you can start helping in the house and doing some honey-dos. That's when I got into selling wood. So, all right, I'll kind of move on here and kind of show you a little bit more what we've got going. Give you a little bit of perspective. We started over there by the truck. We've come around this edge of the trees here. And now, as you can see, we've got quite a bit of room here all the way into the back. So the wood yard's going to be a pretty good size if I ever get it full of wood, but this will be where some of my upcoming projects are. I've got a lot of ideas, all of them which cost a ton of money. But yeah, with that, we'll look forward to sharing some of the projects that we do back here. Just kind of come over here and get a little bit of perspective of how much and how deep and tall this is. My intentions are to come back in here with an excavator and pull this all down and make it a nice slope. Get back into this corner here, kind of see. We'll get this log pile burned up, but as you can tell up there, that is about 20, 25, 30 feet tall of dirt. So at one point there was 30 foot of dirt right here, and she's all down the road. So one of my projects I'm thinking about doing is just building a shop right into this corner. That way I could use cement walls all the way around for at least two sides of it, and build it back into the dirt and utilize that for some insulation. All right, well, you saw where we started, putting and stacking all of that wood on good uneven ground. And as we sold dirt out of here and we made ourselves some nice flat surfaces, that's where I started stacking right into this area here. So this can kind of give you an idea of what I have for inventory. As you can tell right there, you need 2 or 3 screws in virtually everything. Otherwise they break out and turn into a mess. Take a quick look at this here. So started selling off of this end of the pile here, and as that dries, I will just keep moving my way this way. I'll keep stacking dry wood on the back side that can be sold right away, and then keep moving this way with the wet wood, and gives it an opportunity to dry. So yeah, so that's kind of what I got going right now. All right, this kind of view from up top. Mount Woodmore. So there you go. So this main wood yard is, a couple 150 yards from the house. So you can probably see that up there. The house is right there. So just across this ditch here is where the wood yard is. So nice and close. You can tell all of these cedar trees here. There's 2 rows of them that goes all the way around this kind of a triangle back here. Those I planted about 17 years ago, just plucked them out of a pasture, and cedars are kind of a weed, so you know they're gonna grow well. So I had intentions of making this into kind of just a deer haven back here, but wood yard, better. One problem I'm gonna see with this wood yard already is all that right there is all clay. So it takes about 1/10 of an inch of water to turn it into a real mess. And there is 0 chance I'm getting up here if this is wet. So we'll have to see here. Nice wet spring, nice wet summer. She's probably gonna make me work at getting some rock up here. We've got a little bit more dirt to come out of here, a little bit of finish work so I can have this all squared away. And then we will make sure it all slopes and the water runs where we need it to. And then we can start doing some investment in either projects or rocks. So did a little bit of measuring on Google Earth, and it looks like we're about 1.5 acres that I've gained of flat ground up here on the hill. So pretty good little piece of real estate to use for the wood yard. But yeah, other than that, that is my main wood yard. I know you guys have heard me talk about it and mention it in other videos. So here is said main wood yard. This is where most of the work is, and this is kind of where I hang out and hide out. So with that, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up today. You guys know the program. Like, subscribe, share. Leave in some comments below. What would you like to see go on back here? What kind of projects? And maybe some ideas of how do we make sure and organize this so we don't continue to set world records on how much we touch a piece of wood before we burn it or sell it. Thanks, everybody. Take care, be safe, and we will see you on the flip side.